In this video, I'll be showing you how to use Asuka's lows effectively, and some sequences you can apply right away in your next games. And if you're not subscribed already, make sure to hit that button since we're almost at 5k. I appreciate you guys, and it's cool to see all the people making progress from these videos. The first low we'll be covering is down 1+2. This is a 20 frame low, which means that we're 1 frame below the seeable threshold. Since most moves that we can see and block on a reaction are 21 frames or slower, this attack teeters on the edge of being seeable. Now let's look at some applications for down 1+2. This attack has high crushing properties on the tail end of the animation. We can start applying down 1+2 by using one jab on hit and then trapping them with down 1+2. This is why jabbing at range 0 is so important, as it gives us this leeway to get these slower lows to come out. The one jab on hit leaves us at +9, which means the opponent can't sidestep or jab. Its tracking is a little weaker to Asuka's right side, but it's still possible to get this to work. If your one jab lands, you shouldn't have any problems with people sidestepping. Down forward 1 on hit allows us to do the same thing. We're covering any sweeps or slow launchers, and if this move lands, we'll be +8. Make sure you're always going for the forward 2 follow-up, otherwise you're leaving damage on the table. The caveat is that some people can actually step to the right, even when they've been hit by down forward 1. This is rare, but if you do ever find yourself in this position, we can sidestep left or right and then use down 1+2 to track again. My personal favorite way to use this is to do a forward dash into down 1+2. That will easily cover any attempts at sidestepping down 1+2. The next application for down 1+2 is after a throw. Using the generic one throw as an example, there is no time where King has a chance to attack before I do. The only exception being the 1+2 throw. If King were to wake up with a mid kick, we get interrupted in this situation. We'll cover how to deal with this later in the video. Another application for down 1+2 is to use one jab on block, forward dash, and then use down 1+2. In comparison to the first sequences I showed you in this video, this one is a lot more risky. This is because we're not using frames to our advantage, we're just using the momentum and pressure. Another good setup for down 1+2 is to just run up and use it. In the same way that Kazuya can run up to us and use a hell sweep, we can also do something similar with this low. The reason this low has so much value is that it can be looped infinitely. If your opponent decides they want to tech roll every time they get hit by the flip over, they cannot interrupt you doing this sequence. And to quickly cover some wake ups, be aware that waking up backwards requires a little bit longer of a sprint. Otherwise our follow up is likely to miss. And here's where the counter to the sequence can arise, which is the wake up mid kick or low kick. Since we technically don't have enough frames to use down 1+2, it's just not going to work here. But that doesn't mean we should abandon our pressure. If you have a read that someone's going to use a wake up kick, we can use 1+2 instead to safely launch and counter that option. While there's a lot of value in using 1+2 on wake up, it should never really be your first choice. We really only want to use it as a response tool or someone consistently waking up blocking low. The same exact concept applies to wake up low kick. If you have that data and have the read, go ahead and use 1+2 and launch them. The next low is going to be your snake edge. Snake edge comes out at about 28 frames, which means this move is very risky to use. While on paper, if this move lands, we get a nice combo and some decent damage. But the issue is that if this move gets blocked, we're -26 and we end up getting launched for a lot of damage. While you can make the same argument for down 1+2, this move is significantly slower, which means this low isn't very valuable. It's also well over the seeable threshold of 21 frames, which means people can see this move and block it on reaction. Try to avoid using snake edge at all costs. This move will only become a hindrance to your gameplay. If this move becomes a habit and we rank up some more, we'll see that people will learn to block this and it'll be a big hole in your offense. The better solution is to use this move as a fake out. Against the right people, this will allow you some time to set up some full crouch mix-ups. Especially if you're playing against someone who's very good at reacting to snake edge, they'll be blocking by the time the low comes out. This means that by the time the low is expected to come out, we can cancel it and use a throw or another mix-up instead. Here's an example. I'm going to use snake edge cancel into falling rain, which we can combo by using forward 2-3 into down back 1-4. This strategy is assuming that our opponent knows what we're doing. Once we cancel snake edge, we have to pick an option right away. And we don't just have to use falling rain. We can use snake edge cancel into a generic one throw. Or we could do something like snake edge cancel into full crouch down forward 2. While a lot more difficult, we can also do crouch cancel down forward 2. Some other options you can experiment with are snake edge cancel into down 1+2, or snake edge cancel into generic throw into down 1+2 loop. Now let's actually break down this attack. Full crouch down forward 2 is a very scary low because if it works on counter hit, we get so much value out of it. The other benefit is that it has a ton of range. Even when I'm this far from King, we can still get full crouch down forward 2 to hit. We can access this move like snake edge cancel from before, forward 2 cancel, or while standing 1+2 cancel, which you can cancel all by holding down or down back. So we can use this time of canceling the attack to induce hesitation, and that hesitation will increase our chances of getting full crouch down forward 2 to work. That way we're making ourselves more of a threat in the neutral and creating more opportunities to launch opponents. There will be situations where someone makes a correct read on full crouch down forward 2, but this isn't a bad thing because we have full crouch down forward 3. Full crouch down forward 3 guarantees a knockdown and a follow-up, and it's great for catching people who are blocking low after a cancel. And a typical sequence might look something like this. Just be careful not to press anything if full crouch down forward 2 gets blocked, because we'll be -11. The last low we'll be covering is down back 3. This is another low poke that Asuka has that people commonly misuse. It's common to see this move misused because of the startup frames. At 20 frames, Asuka really can't use this move at range 0. Lots of fast attacks will come out at this range and will cause this move to get interrupted more often than not. The way we can fix this is by staying outside of jab range when using down back 3. Asuka also helps you do this by leaning down slightly, which makes jabs even harder to hit. Once you start using down back 3 in this sweet spot, you'll find so much more value in using this move. You also get a lot more frames to work with if you were to counter hit with this move. This means you can use that time to run up and use a throw with very little risk of getting hit. And that's all I have for you guys today. If you're struggling with climbing up the ranks or want private coaching, click the link in the description below. And as always, have a great day, guys. Want to take your Asuka to pro level? My exclusive Metafy course has everything you need, each broken down in easy to follow videos. Get the course for a one-time price and get lifetime access and free updates.